and this will hook onto your belt buckle.
Are you with Fox?
No, I'm not.
If Fox wants to talk Fox wants to talk to the coach and pick was his last quarterback.
Turn around, Pete.
Before integration. Okay.
No, you go over there rather than turning him around. See, no, he wanted you to turn around. All he had to do was go there.
That's right. And he was your last quarterback at Bernard. Is that right?
The last one won the state championship.
The last one that won the state championship.
68.
Yeah, I was 67, 68.
All right, and then
Boot camp.
okay, good to see you, buddy.
See you.
And then they sent us all to Gadsden High.
Then they know I didn't go down. That
Oh.
was my last year with down the school.
Okay, good to see you. Okay, I'm sorry.
You want to hold on from arm? It's a little dark down there.
Yeah,
We get you down there.
I think I can make it.
Sometimes when you call people, they think you're working.
Hey, coach.
Hey, how you, buddy? I think, yeah. I think I can just follow you. Yeah, I can follow you. How you doing?
Alan Montgomery.
Okay,
Pleasure.
good
I mean, an honor to meet you.
Good to see you. Okay. Okay. Well, you got a front row seat. Okay. Okay, I got it. Got me a real red pen. That's what I look for. Oh, got it?
You got it?
Yeah. Where you want me at? Okay. Okay.
Are you gonna sit beside me and be my friend today?
Yeah, I'm gonna put a little room for us. Your husband may throw a brick. Oh, got it. Okay.
He's on the other side of me.
I got it. Yeah, I got you.
Good morning, you all. I ask that we just take a couple of moments. We are waiting on our choir at the moment. They will be here shortly, but I'd like to thank you all for coming out, and please. You all are fine. You can keep talking. Yeah, we're just waiting on our choir at the moment, but they're going to be here shortly. But thank you all for coming out. Okay, guys. Yes, our speaker is also being interviewed, so we would like to just give a couple moments. But thank you all for coming out once again. We will begin shortly.
Brother Walls. That's him right there. Who shot you in your foot, boy? Oh, you had, we were probably playing basketball, or playing, that's why these pro football and baseball players that sign these huge contracts, they tell them no pickup basketball, no shenanigans. Yeah. Was it a knee? Oh, okay. Oh, that shouldn't. Okay. Hey, we had this guy on my team, and we knew we barely got him in. And in the Ivy League, they call them academic stretches when they just get him in. So we had him out there. He got hurt one night, and the trainer ran out there. He said, "My chin, my chin." The trainer. He said, "No, my chin." They said, "Fool, that's your shin."
Wrong body part.
Yeah, the trainer was looking. He said, "His chin." He said, "No, my chin." That's your shin.
You can tell he was.
But he could look at here now. But he could play some ball. But he made every tackle. Oh, he could play. I tried to keep him around long as I could.
As long as you got his chin.
Yeah. My chin.
Oh, that's so funny. They laugh at me all the time because I actually was born without my left leg. So when you see me on these crutches, so I can become a little athletic with these crutches every now and again.
You
But
got prosthesis.
I was in one and I messed around and had what would be known as an athletic tear, which was a labral tear. And so it took me out of it. And I've been on the crutches now for about 22 years.
Wow.
And so everybody always asks me, "Oh, what did you do? What did you do? And somebody is standing beside me. I said, and everybody's like, "Are you still with them? You still hang out with them?" Listen.
Yeah,
Friends are hard to come by.
yeah, I noticed how you maneuver. When I was running up there trying to catch that doe, you were gone. I said, she's been, yeah.
That's what everybody tells me. You don't. And I said, well, you figure it out. With life, you figure it out. That's what people tell you all the time. I don't know how you do it. I could never. I promise you, when you have to do it, you figure out ways. You adjust and down. Oh, boy, they're good. Oh, let me sit back. It looks straight.
Who they waiting on? The choir? Oh, they were waiting on.
Yeah, you're running cover today.
Who they waiting on? The piano?
Good afternoon. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started, but I'd like to welcome you all to the introduction to Limestone University's annual Black History Month celebration. It is an honor to stand before you guys today to welcome you all here as the Limestone University's Black Student Union president. I am proud to help kick off Limestone University's annual Black History Month celebration. Black History Month is a time for us to recognize the accomplishments of African Americans to this country. As such, I ask that we take this time to go ahead and open our hearts and our minds and learn about the history of African Americans within this country. So I would like to thank you all for all of your hard work that you've put into this program. And I would like to extend a special thanks to the family of Willie Jeffries, as well as Willie Jeffries, for coming out. We are so glad and happy that you are here today. And I would also like to thank our Diversity Inclusion Office, and I'm very thankful for all the hard work that you guys have put in to make this Black History Month celebration very welcome. And I'm glad that you all are here, and thank you.
Join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, we come here today to say thank you. Thank you for getting all our together to celebrate this special moment. Give us the strength and power to keep us motivated every day. Bless the ones around me with the strength and knowledge that you have provided with them. Thank you to Dr. Ross, Mr. Carlos, and the staff of Limestone University for making this possible. Keep them and my fellow brothers strong and courageous. Also, bless all the people that came here to watch what Real Man Lee has to offer. And lastly, thank you for bringing Coach Willie Jeffries here to speak with us with words of wisdom that can help us someday. In your precious son's name, I pray. Amen.
Good afternoon. My name is Karan Starks, and I will be reading from Isaiah 40, verses 29 through 31, and Acts 10, verses 34 through 35. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Even youths grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run, not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. God does not show favoritism, but accepts from every nation the one who fears him and does what is right. God does not favor one person or group over another. He acknowledges the diversity of his creation while showing grace equally.
Oh, they know what to sing. Yeah, we're supposed to stand up. Liberty, let us rejoice in right, listening sky. Song full of respect and darkness and all us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us, praising the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on to victory is won. Slowly the reach on, into the chase we cry, felt in the days when hope unborn had died, yet with the steady beat of the weary feet, come to the place for which our Father sighed. We have come over a way that with tears has been watered. We have come treading the paths of the blood of the slaughter. And from the grove will we pass, till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far.
Wonderful. Good afternoon. Again, on behalf of our university president, Mr. Jeremy Whitaker, the Board of Administration, Board of Trustees, and the University Administration, we'd like to welcome you to Limestone University as we have our kickoff for our Black History Month celebration. Again, thank you for coming out because I fully understand that there are so many other places you could be. We have some special guests that we'd like to recognize at this time. We have visiting with us from Gaffney High School under the direction of Mr. Anton Giss. They're men of color. Gentlemen, please stand. These are the young men. These are the young men that our guys here in the Real Men Lead program, we mentor these young men, and this is the first time they've had an opportunity to come on campus, and we certainly welcome you all here to the university. Thank you so much. Also sitting in front of them, we have the Real Men Lead program participants. Gentlemen, please stand so everybody can see you all. These are members, our second cohort of Real Men Lead. It's a program that works with first generation students who are present here at our university. We have a group that serves as mentors, and then the first year students are our mentees, and our sophomores and juniors are our mentors for the program. So we just want to highlight the wonderful job that these young men do here. If you haven't had a chance to meet any of our Real Men Lead participants, I encourage you to meet them and listen to the enthusiasm and the encouragement that you get from them as it relates to making sure that they complete the college education that they've started here at Limestone. It's a pleasure to have you here, gentlemen. Also, we have visiting, we have our friends from Dunton United Methodist Church. These are people in our community at Dunton United who have adopted the Real Men Lead program, and we certainly are appreciative to the pastor and all of the members there at Dunton. So thank you all for what you do for us here at Limestone University. We also have, and we can give Dunton. We also have with us Coach Jeffries' lovely wife, Mrs. Jeffries. She's his chauffeur. And we certainly are pleased to have you. Thank you. We have a niece and nephew, David and Sharon Catherine. And any other family members that have come, we have our good friend, Ms. Roseman, Gloria Roseman, and Lisa. They're in the back. We certainly appreciate you all coming. And a lot of community individuals who've come out, we certainly appreciate. I'm sure the coach will make those acknowledgments and make sure that he shows his appreciation, but thank you. Because of the school schedule, I did want to introduce our high school group because if the program runs long, they have to get back and not miss the dismissal in time going back, so we certainly understand that. Our other very special guest, and pretty soon we will ask our mayor to come to the stage. But we have from Gaffney City Council, Mayor Dr. Randy Moss and his lovely wife. We're certainly glad to have you all. We also have Council Lady Mrs. Missy Reed Norris. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you for all that you do for the city. We have Councilman Alan Montgomery, and I was his principal almost 100 years ago at Luther Vaughn, Mr. Lucius Jones, and he made sure he reminded me of that. But he's such a delight for this community, and we appreciate everything that you're doing. Also, I want to again thank Coach Jeffries, and I can't wait to hear all the wonderful information he has to give us. But on before we do that, Miss Leanne Moon with the Gaffney Visitor Center. Leanne, we certainly are pleased that you're here. we will have the documentary, Success Has No Zip Code, the story of Coach Willie Jeffries. It will premiere in Columbia on the 12th. We will have the showing here in Cherokee County on Thursday, on February 23rd and 24th. The Real Men Lead program in collaboration with the city of Gaffney and the museum will co-sponsor a reception. We certainly invite everybody to that. At this time, I'd like to ask our mayor to come up with a special presentation for Coach Jeffries. Thank you. Coach, if you'll come up, please.
You know, I was very honored when Charles Wyatt invited me to be here to make this special presentation. Before I forget and am remiss, I would like to introduce the First Lady of the city, who was sitting right there, but she's standing now, Dr. Anna Moss. Anna had served here at Limestone on the Board of Trustees, and she has instilled her love of the school in me. So we have adopted Limestone. We do scholarship to Limestone, also to Gaffney students coming to Limestone. So very proud of the place, and you have the mayor's ear. And again, I appreciate my wife's service on the Board of Trustees here at Limestone. But now for the business at hand. Now, Charles told me I could talk as long as I want, but people started to leave. So I'm going to read this briefly, Coach Jeffries, if you will. You know, I played for Coach Pravat during the years that you were here at Grenard, and on Thursday nights, I'd come over and watch you guys so I could see how the defensive backs were supposed to play. Whereas the city of Gaffney, Honorable Dr. Randy Moss, pleased to learn that Coach Willie Jeffries will be the keynote speaker at Limestone Black History Month observation on Wednesday, February 7th. And whereas Coach Jeffries captured 3 consecutive 3A championships at Grenard from 1964 to 1966. And those of you who go to the reservation, to the Gaffney Stadium now, you will see those 3 years listed there. So, whereas Coach Jeffries earned a bachelor's degree from South Carolina State College, now known as University, and has a master's in guidance and counseling in 1966. Completed further study at Indiana University. Whereas during an extraordinary career of 29 years as a college head coach, he amassed a 179, 132-6 record. However, that's nothing. During his years here in Gaffney at Grenard, he won 90% of his football games. Can anybody imagine that? Wes, he was as the first African American to be named head football coach at an NCAA Division I school. He led Wichita State University to unprecedented success before taking Howard University to its first league victory and national championship. Coach Jeffries later returned to South Carolina State as head football coach from 1989 to 2001, when he coached 6 winning seasons, capturing the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference Championship, played 3 times in the Heritage Bowl, and earned a national title. Whereas he was selected Director of Athletics Fundraising in 2002, he was named head football coach emeritus at his alma mater, and a board member for the Midlands 4 Area Fellowship. For these outstanding accomplishments, he is in the South Carolina State Hall of Fame, South Carolina Athletic Hall of Fame, and Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference Hall of Fame. Whereas the mayor of Gaffney and members of Gaffney City Council are grateful for the legacy that Willie Jeffries has left in the lives of so many young athletes and for the pride and recognition he has brought to the Gaffney community, as well as the state of South Carolina and indeed our nation. Therefore, now I, Dr. Randy Moss, by the power vested in me by the people as the mayor of this city, do declare this to be Willie E. Jeffries Day in Gaffney, South Carolina. Coach Jeffries.
Tomorrow will be somebody else's day.
We do have a change in our program. Here to introduce our speaker is our Vice President of the Black Student Union.
Good afternoon to our family, to our faculty, staff, student body, and esteemed guests. My name is Skylar Jackson, and I am the Vice President of the Black Student Union here at Limestone University. It is my honor this afternoon to introduce our keynote speaker, Coach Willie Jeffries. Coach Jeffries was born in Union, South Carolina on January 4th, 1937. He is a graduate of Sims High School and later furthered his education, earning his bachelor's degree in civil engineering and a master's degree in guidance from South Carolina State University. He did further graduate studies at Indiana University. He began his first coaching position as an assistant coach at Bar Street High School in Lancaster, South Carolina in 1960. A head coaching position followed in 1961 at Grenard High School here in Gaffney, where he completed a 6-year 65-7-2 mark and won 3 consecutive state AAA championships from 1964 to 1966. Jeffries' contributions were made early in his coaching career, and athletic faculty was named in honor of Coach Jeffries at Grenard Middle School, aka School. The Willie Jeffries Academy of Excellence in Orangeburg, South Carolina, is slated to open in August 2024. During his remarkable 29-year collegiate head coach career, Jeffries compiled a 179, 132-6 record. This record included 7 MEAC championships, Mid-Eastern Atlantic Conference, two national titles, several post-season appearances, and numerous coaching awards. Coach Jeffries also produced a number of players who had distinguished themselves in the professional football and other professions, made history in 1979 when he became the first African-American head coach in Division I football at Wichita State, an inductee of both the MEAC Hall of Fame and South Carolina State University Athletic Hall of Fame. Jeffries was awarded the Order of Silver Crescent in 2001, South Carolina's highest honor for outstanding community service. In November 2010, the South Carolina State University Board of Trustees named the football field at Olive C. Dawson Stadium in his honor. He is a member of several coaching, professional, and civic organizations, including the American Football Coaches Association and Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity. Coach Jeffries is married to the former Mary Cawthon, and they have 3 children, Valerie, Willie Jr., and Tamara. After the selection from the community choir, please join me in welcoming Coach Willie E. Jeffries to Limestone University. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Come on now, y'all got to speak back to me. We here to give God some praise also for Dr. Jeffrey. Come on, let's give him some praise. Put your hands together if you love the Lord. All right. Y'all got to smile at me. We done ate that good old chicken. I'm trying to move out of this tie. Y'all got to sing with me, all right? All right. All right.
According to the power that worketh in you. God is able to do just what He said He will do. He's gonna fulfill every promise to you. Don't give up on God, 'cause He won't give up on you. He's able.
Come on, you can put your hands together. Come on, students, I see you over there. Come on.
God is able to do just what He said He would do. He's gonna fulfill every promise to you. Don't give up on God, 'cause He won't give up on you. He's able. He's able. God is able to do just what He said He would do. He's gonna fulfill every promise to you. Don't give up on God, 'cause He won't give up on you. He's able. He's able.
'cause he won't give up on you. Don't give up on God, 'cause he won't give up on you. Don't give up on God, 'cause he won't give up on you. Come on and give God a hand clap of praise. Amen.
That's Mr. Gaffney. Thank you for that, because my grandmother always said you can have a PhD, an MA degree, but if you don't have that BA born again degree, you're in bad shape. It slipped off. Y'all saw that agility when that cord fell. That's the agility I have. Thank you, Skylar, thank you so much. There are so many people here today. Well, Skylar, first of all, am I coming through clearly? Skylar, you made history, just made history. Of all of my introductions, yours is the most recent. Yeah, because she just made it. Some of you haven't figured that out. There are so many people here, to the Board of Trustees of this great university, to the Mayor Moss, to Dr. Ross, and Mike Daniel, are you still here? Okay, a great lawyer. If you got $100, that'll get you 1 minute with him. And to all of the football players, I am being honored for something they did on the football field. And I didn't make a tackle. We honor God. They didn't do it. We give God the glory. So I saw Pig Dawkins, I saw Isaac Harris, I saw Freddie. Stand up, guys. They rough. That's a rough bunch too. There they are in the back. Yeah, they really were good football players, and I certainly thank you. Also to Dr. Ross, you really worked hard, and we appreciate it. To the Black Student Union, thank you so much for putting this on. And the entire faculty and staff of Limestone University, thanks to you all for having us. Now, I'm at home. The people in Gaffney, they think I'm from Gaffney. People in Union, they think I'm from Gaffney and Union. So, but I was born, bred, and buttered in Union. Y'all get that? Born, bred, and buttered. You got to put the and buttered on it. But I'm so happy to be here. Dr. Ross called me. He said, "Coach, you believe in freedom of speech?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, come and make one then." And I told him it was pro bono. That's what a lawyer says when it's free. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not the first choice to be here today. Here's how it turned out. First, they wanted a great orator, one who was trained in speaking, would deliver an eloquent address, but he couldn't make it. So then they decided to get a great intellect, one speaking those $20 words and make the players go back to the library. But he couldn't make it either, so they said, well, let's get a famous person. And about a month ago, they received a letter from Michael Jordan that he couldn't make it. So they didn't give up. They came back for the last time and said, let's just get a good-looking speaker. Sharon, you can say it looked like he couldn't make it either. When Mary and I left Orangeburg, we got a new coach. Coach Buddy Pugh retired. Buddy played for me back in the 70s. We got the new coach from Benedict, great coach. And he asked me, when something goes wrong, will I go and check on it if he's out of town? Big John, one of our big tackles, copying off another guy's paper. And he knew he was wrong. So when I went in to see the professor, and I said, Doctor, I won't say a last name, can you prove that he was copying? She, oh, yes, coach, oh, yes. I had 50 questions on the test, 2 for each correct answer. Y'all know 2 times 50, that's 100. Yeah. Said the young man made 98, the smart young man. But said the smart young man wrote for number 10, I don't know, and your big tackle wrote, I don't either. So now you guys, especially y'all Omega Psi Phi, and Kappas and Alphas and all the rest of it, don't y'all try that. Y'all study. Don't try what I'm fixing to say now, because we used to tell our players, never copy one person's work. That's plagiarism. Copy off of 8 or 10, that's research. Don't y'all try that. Okay, I want all of you to do what I'm telling you to do. If you're not able to do it, just sit down. Everybody stand up and face me. Some of y'all are old like I am. First lady, that goes for you too. Okay, facing me, take one step to the left. To your left. Take one step back to your right. Okay, take your seat. If they ask y'all how Coach Jeffries did, y'all say he really moved me. I hope I did. Okay, in 1926, let me do a little brief history on, Black History Week. Dr. Carter G. Woodson, a scholar in Washington, D.C., 1926, they finally gave him, Congress passed a bill for 1 week for Black History Week. He was a great scholar. And he did it, and they asked him why, but he could prove it, that black people in the United States made all of these inventions, the great contributions they had made to America, to make America the greatest country in the world, but we never, nothing was ever written about it, or we weren't recognized for it. So he got that 1 week. And here's what happened. Nothing was ever written about Garrett Morgan, who invented the traffic light. Think what would have happened had he not. And he invented all of these parts to a train where they could oil and take care of the trains and the axles. Now, Dr. Daniel Hale Williams performed the first open heart surgery on a human. Nothing was ever written about that. And the worst one was Dr. Charles Drew, who invented blood plasma. He invented a bank where you could store blood to receive blood. Charles Drew was in an accident in a southern state. They refused him blood from the bank he invented, and he died. They never wrote anything about that. So this is what Carter G. Woodson is making, trying to come up with a little more than Black History Week. And oh, Dr. George Washington Carver, if we could just name half of what he invented, from the peanut and other things that he did at Tuskegee University. I'll just look at some of them were mostly from the peanut, but other things also. Peanut butter, and I hope that fella had invented jelly so we could have that good old peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I hope they were invented about the same time. Okay, adhesives, bleach, ink, chili sauce, instant coffee, linoleum, and 30 or 40 other things he invented at Tuskegee. Nothing was ever known about it. So, Black History Week was given, Congress passed it. 1976, how many years that? See how many paying attention since we had the week. 50. Yeah, thanks, sir. Because Black History Week was in 1926. 50 years later, President Gerald Ford stressed it 50 more years. That's why we have Black History Month. And do you know some of my good folk were just mad as they could be? Because February is the shortest month, isn't it? Well, they were mad. But Gerald Ford had a reason. Abraham Lincoln's birthday was in February, and the great abolitionist, I'll think of his name in a minute. Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln, their birthdays were in February. So he had a reason to name February Black History Month. So here we are now. And I decided, someone wrote down black people in sports to talk to you all about, black artists, which would include singers and things. And I said, no, I'm going to talk to the students. And thank you guys and leaders. We need you now worse than ever before. And thank you all for coming. The older people, they can just amen what I'm going to tell them. Okay, all of Limestone University students and other students, if you're here. But let me say this first. Black History Month also came from diversity. Diversity and inclusion, came because of Black History Month. We're always talking about diversity and inclusion. And I noticed walking this campus, I commend the president and the administration here. It seems like you got diversity and inclusion covered. Diversity, let's put it in a short way you can understand it. Diversity is when you're invited to the party. Inclusion is if they ask you to dance. That covers it all. Well, I'm not getting into all the other stuff. I figured you would. Okay, all Limestone students repeat after me, and any other students that are here. Lisa back there in the back, you can repeat too. Lisa made some cookies last night. I just bragged on them. They were 98% good. All right, y'all ready? Spread the word across the nation. We're going to be a great generation. Stop right there. Don't say stop right there now. Okay, great. And you are going to be a great generation. But now there's more to it than just talking about it. When you leave Limestone University and students at other universities, you're going to compete in a global society, not just Newberry, University of South Carolina, Clemson, South Carolina State. No, try Harvard, Yale, and Princeton. That's why you've got to get those grades, because you will compete in a global society. So while you are attending, you better get all you can get while you can. But let's put all students together. Black History Month dictates that let's be together. all students. We're not looking at HUE, your hue, which is your color. We're looking at, like Dr. Martin Luther King said, the content of your character. But let's be, at Limestone University, students, let's be a team. Let's form a team to make yourselves better and make this one of the best universities in the United States. Now, here's what you got to do if you're on a team. You can pitch a no-hit game, but it's just another loss if the errors of your teammates put opponent's runs across. You might be a brilliant runner, pass and kick with easy grace, but you miss the winning touchdown if just one teammate is out of place. So in the sporting world of business, at Limestone University or a mill, nothing can produce a winner like a little teamwork will. And if you're on the team, when you're on a team, all of you are pulling for one thing. And you know that's hard to do, to get everybody. That's why a football game or a basketball game is so great. Everybody on one side pulling for one thing, everybody on the other side pulling for hearts. And all you guys I've met, I have truly been impressed. Now, here's how you start off. Now, y'all got to follow me because it gets a little ambiguous. But how do we prepare? And I'm going to compare it with a sailboat. Now, a sailboat, when you're getting ready to sail, you go out there and you take that thing and you take the sails and you set them in a direction that you would like to go. I don't care what happens, that boat is going the way you set those sails. So here's the way it goes. One ship sailed east and one ship sailed west by the very same winds that blow. So it is not by the gales, but the setting of the sails that determine which way you will go. Now, you know a gale is a burst of wind. It is not by the gales, but the setting of your sail. Your lives will go the way you prepare. Set your sails on the way that you aspire to be, but you got to work at it, setting your sails. And here's how you set those sails. Set those sails in a direction where you respect all cultures at this university. It doesn't matter if it's not yours, you respect others. You're setting your sails now. All you want to happen is for the wind to blow, and you're going in that direction because you prepared your sails to go in that direction. Set your sails on a course where you show appreciation to your parents for getting you this far. Don't forget that. Set your sails on a course where you can be the best student you can be. One or two guys came here, they had 4.0, now they're down to 2.2. So y'all know what you got to do. You got to study a little bit more. Set your sails on a course where you work harmoniously with the professors and the administration of this great university. That's one thing you have to do as a team. Set your sails on a course where you have patience. Patience is a virtue. Something else about patience. The early bird does get the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. Where's the first mouse, guys? Thank you, somebody back there. He's in the trap. Y'all pay attention. The first mouse is in the trap. The early bird gets the worm, and the second mouse gets the cheese. That's patience. Okay, here we go again. Set your sails on a course where you pick your friends carefully. Young men and young women at Limestone University, nothing in the world can set you. There's nothing in the drugstore can mess you up like bad friends. And I've been in a university over 30 years, and we monitored our players and the friends they picked up along the way. Birds of a feather flock together. Good birds, good destination. Bad birds, bad destination. We really, everywhere I've coached, we had this poem to admonish our players about the company they keep, and it goes as follows. It was sometime in November in a town I can't remember. I was carrying home a pint of whiskey and drinking it with foolish pride, when my feet began to stutter and I fell down into a gutter, and a pig came up and lay down by my side. And as I lay there in the gutter, thinking thoughts I dared not utter, a lady passing by was heard to say, "You can tell a man who boozes by the company he chooses." And the pig got up and slowly walked away. They ain't got it yet over there. One of y'all laugh so the rest of them can laugh. Black History Month here is a great thing to have, but it brings you together as a team, and I'll still say diversity and inclusion came out of it because of Dr. Carter G. Woodson and his group had nerve enough to say something, that we had a race of people that they were certainly ignoring. But now, in looking and watching things happen here, I believe you all are getting along, and I said you have to respect the culture. You have a lot of cultures over there coming together, and you have to respect each person's culture because that's the way they are. So you don't laugh at them. Yours not the greatest, you're just used to it. They think yours is strange, and you think theirs is strange. Here's what I'd like to leave with you, and oh, don't you appreciate when a Baptist preacher says, "And as I close." But I was a Baptist, but one guy got a new church, and he went to the new church, Baptist preacher. He went out there to that new church first day and didn't but one member show up. He was an old farmer. And he had this sermon prepared. He said, "I'm going to give it." Didn't but one show up, but I'm preaching it. He preached for 2.5 hours. And the old farmer just sat there. And then finally, after it was over, he said, "Amen." He was finished, wiping sweat. And he told the farmer, he said, "Mr. Farmer, if you're feeding your hogs and only one shows up, aren't you going to feed that hog?" The farmer said, "Yeah, but I wouldn't give him the whole bushel." I would like to leave this with you all for being here, and I hope we can talk about Michael Jordan and all the great athletes, and we can talk about the singers, Beyonce, but see, they can't be, you can love them and you like them. They can't be your role model, because your role model should be your dad, your mom, your pastor, your principal, one of your professors here. Why? Because you can interact with them. Your role model should be a person you interact with. So don't ever forget that. So I get into the documentary that we have, Success Has No Zip Code. Don't use your surroundings as a crutch to not doing well. Well, we didn't have this and we didn't have that. Don't use your surroundings or upbringing as a crutch to not do anything. You just don't do that. And you're looking at, if I wanted to use those, father died, I was 4 years old, mother never remarried. We were the poorest family in Union. We had to put Kool-Aid on layaway. And when we had cornflakes, we we ate Cheerios with a fork so we could save the milk from my brother. But you don't use what I didn't have, because there are so many people out now that will help you. If you see a turtle sitting on a pole, somebody put him there. He didn't get there by himself. So there's no excuse now for using your environment as a crutch because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. So now I close, and I said that once before, didn't I? The only one can tell you that you can't is you. That's the only one who can tell you that you can't do something. That's you, because you're going to say, I can, and you do it. So as I take my seat, I know y'all happy to hear that. I want to leave this with you at Limestone University. I figured I wanted to talk to the students on Black History Month and see that and hope that they are getting along together, because that's what Black History Month was aimed at, and that we want to recognize that people of color, especially black people, made America the greatest country in the world, and it should be known that we did that. So, and I mean it this time as I close. I watched them tearing a building down, a group of men in a busy town. With a ho-heave-ho and a lusty yell, they swung a beam and a side wall fell. I asked the foreman, are these men skilled? Are they the type of men I would hire if I had to build? The foreman laughed and said, no, indeed, common labor is all I need. I can easily reckon a day or two what it has taken builders years to do. So I'm sure all of us here today have said to ourselves, as we've gone on our way, which of these roles will we decide to play? Will we be a builder who will work with care, measuring life by rule and square? Or will we be a wrecker who will roam the town, content with the labor of tearing down? Black History Month, let's respect each other. We will all be builders. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach Jeffries. Thank you. We've reserved a short period of time for. We've reserved a short period of time for question and answer. We have a wireless mic somewhere. Before we finish up, and Coach and Mrs. Jeffries have had a full day. They've been here on campus with us ever since about 10:30, and we've enjoyed every minute. Do you have any questions? Any questions? I'm sure you have. Come. Yes.
It'll be a tie. It'll be 0-0 because both of them, yeah. And you would have to say that all players are equal, because apples to apples, oranges to oranges. Yeah. So put that. Yeah. I say it'll be a tie. 0-0.
What other questions, young high schoolers? You have any questions? Real men lead. Any questions? We have one here. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Back when you coached here and Coach Pravat coached at Gaffney, you mentioned to me that we'd have the same crowd on Thursday night as we would on Friday
That's right.
And that, we would have a large number of black people and a large number of white people.
Mhm.
We would watch Bernard on Thursday night, and they would watch us on Friday night. Comment
Yes.
on that, because I learned a lot from watching your game to help me in my game.
Yeah, and you have such a great point there. And you know, it goes back to where sports did more than probably any other activity in bringing the races together. I really believe that. We'd had the same thing Thursday night. We didn't have a field. They Pick threw a pass to Ike or somebody, and Ike disappeared down the bank because we didn't have But so we played at Gaffney High. We'd go up Buford Street. We'd sing all the way up and sing all the way back. And that's a very good point that we did not, because we didn't have a stadium, but it did so much to bring us together. And I met a lady in Orangeburg, and her brother was the Indian. They used to have a young man who acted like he was the Indian chief, and I forget her name, but the same crowd, and they sat together, I believe, and John Oliver Childers used to get together and buy Grenard, get the Grenard guys a steak dinner. And I do want to add this. I would be remiss if I didn't. We had the greatest band at Grenard that ever marched on a field. I mean, they never got defeated in 30 years. The only thing about that band, I told Mr. Garden, and Mr. Garden, Omega guy, he's a Kappa, Mr. Harris C. Garden, but I tell Mr. Simpson, I took care of the field. Bob Prevette said, in December, when the season is over, go to the cotton gin, get some cotton motes, spread it over your field, and by April, because cotton motes in January, when it's cold, you can stick your finger down there and smoke will come up. It preserves heat. It preserves the roots of your grass. In April, you got pretty grass. Only thing about that band, they came back before we came back in ours and stomped my grass down. Because we only had one field. But I did want to mention that about them because they were quite an outstanding band. Yes, ma'am?
We got a mic. We're going to give you the mic. Coach, your mic, you have wireless, so you can talk in your mic, and we'll get the mic to you.
Okay.
Thank you, Coach Jeffries. You certainly entertain us today. We love your story. You've been truly inspirational. But most of all, you do it with such an elegance and kindness and humanity that it just truly inspires everyone, I hope, in this room. What I wanted to ask, what really touched my heart is when you mentioned that you came from adversities. Like you said, coming from the poorest of the poor, not having much. I know you made it funny and silly, but it definitely caught deep, especially for my husband and I. You know, his parents worked in the mill, and my mom was a farmer, my dad was a welder, and today we're both double doctorate degrees and both have studied at Harvard. What would you recommend for young people in this group that come from a place like we did, where we didn't have a piece of dry bread in a cupboard, yet we had that mindset where I'm not gonna let that pull me back. I'm gonna be successful at everything I do and never be pulled down. But unlike us, where we didn't have social media, we didn't have so much of information bombarding you about fancy vehicles and all this lifestyle, all this materialistic things. For us, I know what kept us down was definitely faith, was family and God. Those were number one in our families, and I think that was a major root. You could see my husband is 103 and I'm only 25. I'm just kidding.
That's a good one.
Actually, I have my 3-year-old son. I have my 3-year-old son right there. He's actually a limestone student as well. And so what I wanted to hear from you as an inspiration, because I try to do this with my young boys, both my boys rather, what would you say to them? Like, how would you get them to not be caught up on that atmosphere where it's all about this buzz and there's no substance. You mentioned about some well-known names, yet I don't know any of them pursuing any higher education. So how do you bring them to the core? I'm sorry, that was a little long.
Yeah, I think first of all, there has to be something within the individual. Now, you can motivate a person, but there has to be a spark for you to ignite within the individual. If there's no spark there, you get nothing. But they can be motivated. If you are a junior high or high school student and you do what's required of you, yes, they being motivated, and they do what's required of them. They got free meals now. They've got all kinds of programs. And if any person, any group of adults if they see a child that's really trying, they could be trying hard to get up to a C. They don't have to be trying to get up to an A. You see it busting it to get up to a C, they're going to get help. All kinds of help to go to college now. But they must try. There must be something within that student. And there are a lot of them that get discouraged, and there has to be someone to help, or sometimes to push, but there has to be a spark there. And it's no way nowadays a child who wants to can fail and not go to college. Really, it's not. And they tell me it's above 50,000 to go to Furman. Now, Clemson, South Carolina, and South Carolina State, you can go for around 24,000. They're state schools. But the private schools are 50 and up. But you still can go. You still can go because they've got all kinds of aid. I was just telling the track coach about Title III and different funds. There's money that you can't believe that if you could go, one guy came to school, had $10 in his pocket. And when the people saw how interested, and he said, I'll work, he came down there, he got a job in the dining hall. Now, you got to want it. You can't just come down there and think you're going to be the president or something. But he had $10 in his pocket. This was when I was in school. It didn't cost but $264 first semester and $264 second semester. But he came down there, he had $10, and he mopped floors in the dining hall and he washed dishes. Now he's one of the richest guys in Orangeburg. But you have to really want to do it. And sometimes it's hard to help a person when they don't. It's hard to help a person when they don't want to do it. There has to be, I still say it has to be a spark now. And you can do it. You can motivate a person. Motivation tells what you are capable of. And it's another one that tells how much you do, but attitude tells how well you do it. But there's a way nowadays, and they do need help. I admire the group. I admire you all so much for coming. Had it been for y'all, had a few more of you, we'd have had a full house. Who else? But really, I'm happy I touched on that because we had zero. My mother made $12 a week, and I went to work and made $29 a week. And then I had to quit and go to football practice. But we made it. Two-room house, had 2 beds in the front room. That was also the living room. The back room was very small. We had a little stove in there and a cot, COT cot. The bathroom, out there, out there with a moon on it, When the Sears Roebuck catalog gave out, there come them corn cobs. So y'all heard the expression rough as a cob? Well, that came from them corn cobs. after the Sears Roebuck catalog. That was your toilet paper. Yeah. And that's true.
Okay, one more question.
Got
and
one
then
right there.
We may have time for one more before we continue, please.
Hey, Coach Jeffries, I really appreciate you. And I always admire all of our forefathers and foremothers that come before, especially as African Americans here in this country. I admire Dr. Ross, he knows that, and many others that are in this room. And one of the things I admire most is when I hear your stories and see where you made it in life, whether professionally or wherever it may be, just to hear the obstacles. And you shared with us overcoming poverty and things of that nature. But that was on top of it, especially at a time where there was discrimination and there was a time where we as African Americans didn't get equal opportunity. I would ask that you share with all of us, especially our young people, though, because I've learned to appreciate, because I grew up in a time where I had resources and I had opportunities that many of you sitting in here today didn't have. I was blessed to go down to Birmingham to the Civil Rights Museum and really get a visual of the difference in even the textbooks and the classrooms and things of that nature. As a football coach, could you share with us, because I would imagine even like with equipment and things of that nature and the conditions of the field, how was that and how did you overcome all of that to reach the pinnacle of your career that you did?
Well, first of all, I believe we got some of our equipment from Gaffney High, but I know a little before that we got our books. We didn't get new books. We got the books that they hand-me-down books. I know when I was in high school, the books were, I saw one of my friends, a white gentleman, I saw his name in the algebra book. He made a C. And I told him, I said, boy, I'm gonna make an A in this class. And I made an A, but we got hand-me-down books. And I think some of our equipment, it was inferior to what they had at Gaffney High. But I don't know how the system was set up, whether or not you made at the gate, that you bought your equipment from your gate receipts, or how it was set up. We never knew that. But we happened to have a group of young men that wanted to play, and one of the worst things ever happened, I had a running back on that third championship. The day after the third championship, he left school, never saw him again. And he was staying there to win that last state championship, and that hurt me so bad. But I guess that was the way he was. But most of the guys stayed and finished up. So I guess the equipment we had, I know we never got to go. We couldn't go in the bathroom, could we, fella? Then we had to make a circle if a guy had the wee-wee or something. Yeah, we couldn't go in the locker rooms at Gaffney High. And I think we had to circle up. But we were able to play over there. So, that wasn't the greatest thing. But we had players that were locked in that wanted to play. So we went through all kinds of roadblocks, but we made it. And times were tough. It's hard enough to go and play against a team, but it's harder than that when you gotta run to the restroom. You can't go. They gotta make a circle. Corey, I forget Corey's first name. Moved up to Washington. He brought that up on one of my ESPN stories that we made a circle. Yeah, Charles Corey, thank you. I had forgotten about that. But anyway, elbow room, cried Daniel Boone. He didn't quit. He kept searching. Anybody else?
Any other questions?
And back at the door.
We have one more, and then we'll bring up Ms. Scott to make some special announcements. Coach Jeffries, you still have the spark inside that you talked about, sir.
Well, thank you. I hope it's getting a little weak, but at 87, I pulled a muscle changing my mind.
Coach Jeffries, thank you for being here. We've talked a lot about hard times, and hard times take a lot of forms and fashions. Poverty is about more than just not having money.
Right.
How do somebody empowers all of us to get out of poverty or to achieve something? How do we empower our young people who are going through hard times, who are struggling, whether it's family or money or other things? What can we do better to be that spark or to empower our young people?
I think it takes counseling, first of all, and also to let them know, make examples. Sometimes you think you're having it hard and you're not. There are all kinds of examples you can make to make a person who thought he was having it hard, he wasn't having it hard. He was having it good compared to somebody else. But I think spending time and taking individuals in your car, taking them somewhere to see what they could possibly be. And that's one of the greatest things. A lot of us was so poor, we didn't even know about what you could have had. We didn't even know. We were so happy. We were happy as Halle Berry's horse and didn't know nothing. But I think travel and interaction, like I said about role models, you can't beat that. You have to show them other things other than their local environment. You're welcome. I won't.
Okay, we're about finished, and again, we thank you all for coming out. We have some special announcements and acknowledgments, and we will finish up the program with our President, Mr. Whitaker.
Great afternoon to each of you. Thank you for your time and attention to this time we have had together today. It has been exceptional and invaluable. To Coach Willie Jeffries, to his lovely wife and family, we say thank you from the bottom of our heart here at Limestone University. To our president, Mr. Jeremy Whitaker, who I asked to step up with me today because he has certainly been very supportive in our measures of diversity, equity, and inclusion here on this campus. Cannot say thank you enough for your continued efforts and your willingness to help us to serve efficiently and effectively here at the university. To our city council, to all of you all, to our students, we hope that we will continue to bring you all efficient and effective information, individuals who have a story to tell, but you see the beginning, you see the middle, and not even their end. Definitely, this is a history month. It is Black history, but I love so greatly how Coach Jeffries put diversity and inclusion is that we are inviting you to the dance and we're asking you to take our hand in this dance as DEI continue on this campus. To Real Men Lead and Dr. Ross and Mr. Parker, to our media staff, to Dr. Page, to Mr. Jordan Phillips, to our BSU interns, to our individuals who work out of our office, who help and assist, to students who we ask to be able to serve with us today. Thank you. To the community, welcome to Limestone. We are continuing to make you all proud in this community. We hope that you all will continue to show up and be present with us as we continue to develop, grow, and expand Limestone University as we continue to declare, Go Saints. Thank you.
Good afternoon. As we can start to conclude this amazing event this evening, I wanted to take just a moment to truly and sincerely, to sincerely thank each and every one of you for coming out here tonight or this evening as we celebrate and we honor at Limestone University the achievements and the lives of African Americans who have made transformational impacts to our American society. Coach Jeffries, we are honored and we are extremely humbled to have you as our guest speaker here tonight, here this evening. Not only did you create a powerhouse football program at Grenard High School, but more importantly, you had a powerful and positive impact on the students of Grenard and the communities of Gaffney and Cherokee County. So to show our appreciation, we would like to offer you a jacket, a Limestone University jacket that we hope you would wear proudly, and for now on, you will be considered part of the Saints family.
Perfect fit. All right.
Prior to Mr. Whitaker coming back to disclose us or excuse us from this time together, we would like to extend to Dr. Poovey and the choral team today, to the Black Student Union President, Mr. Evan Wells, to Vice President, Ms. Skylar Jackson, we say thank you. Also to Mrs. Jeffries, we certainly thank you for sharing your husband with us today. We would like to present you with a gift from Limestone University, just to say our appreciations to you and to your family for sharing such a wonderful gift in the person of Coach Willie Jeffries. Here at Limestone University, can we stand and certainly salute a great individual?
Again, we appreciate everyone coming out this evening, and we hope you enjoyed it, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.